We'll start today seated on our mats. Find those sitting bones rooting down into the earth. We'll close our eyes and we'll just breathe in through our nose, out through our mouths. Bring those thoughts inward so that we can listen more carefully to our body as we move around today, to make sure that we are always making certain that we are giving it what it needs and what it is capable of today. And then we'll seal our lips. We'll open our eyes and we'll lift those hands up to the sky. And then exhale into some cactus arms. Let's open up the heart, little teensy little arch in the back. And then inhale up, lengthen in the spine. Exhale, cactus arms. And inhale up. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, lengthen. One more time. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Good. And now let's open those arms nice and wide. Drop the shoulders away from our ears. Palms are up, reaching in opposite directions. And now we'll just rotate in the arms as we move those palms down toward the floor. Maybe we can even turn them back behind us a little bit without moving those shoulders weird. Just moving the palms and then around to the sky again without doing weird stuff with our shoulders. And around, breathing into that belly. And let's do that one more time. Good. And good. Palms up. Now let's take this right arm and we'll reach across our body and we'll use that left hand or arm to help it stretch across. Again, think about dropping the right shoulder, reaching with the hand, lengthening in the spine. Good, and we'll release that hand, reach it up to the sky, and then bend the elbow like we need to scratch that unreachable spot, and we can use that left hand again to help keep the elbow pointing up without pushing our head down. So if it has to go off to the side, it's absolutely great. It's best not to funk up one part of our body as we're trying to better another. Good. And then we'll release that arm, still working on the right arm. We'll place the back of our hand to our hip like a teapot. And then we'll take this left hand, touch the elbow, again, drop that right shoulder, and then just gently bringing the elbow forward. Good, and releasing. Inhale, let's come all the way up, wiggle the fingers. Good, exhale, cactus arms, open up that heart. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. One more time. Up. Exhaling down. Inhaling nice and tall. And then exhale. Opening wide, palms up. Drop the shoulders. And then just a couple of rotations with those hands and arms without unnecessary movement in the shoulders. Good. Palms up. And now we'll work on that left side. Left arm reaches across. Right arm can help. Drop the left shoulder. Breathe into the belly so that we're not arching in the spine. Nice long necks. And we'll release, lift that left hand up to the sky, and then bend the elbow. Try and find that unreachable spot. Lengthen in the neck. Even if we need to, we can look up to the sky so that we're not bending that head forward. But we're also not arching our back. Weird, nice, long, straight spine. Lengthening in that tricep. Good. And then we'll release. And left hand, back of the left hand to the hip. Drop the shoulder. Using that right hand, we'll bring the elbow forward. Good. And we'll release that arm. Wiggle those fingers. Inhale nice and high. And then exhale. Let's just do a little forward fold. Bringing the chest down low. Shoulders can soften a little bit. And then wiggling those fingers forward, we'll begin to lift our bum up off of our mats, roll over our shins, and come onto our tabletop, hands and knees. Good. Exhale, let's round into our cat. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, cat. Inhaling, cow. Let's drop that tummy. Lift the heart, and with our breath, just moving between these two poses, get some movement in the spine. And let's do one more of each, rounding and arching. And back to the neutral spine. Good. And we'll soften the feet behind us. We'll bring our hips back towards our heels. Hands are still on the floor where they were in tabletop. So we're kind of in a little bit of a crouch, if you will. Good. And now from here, we're just going to lift up the left hand, touch the back of our head, bent elbow, and inhale. We'll lift that elbow up to the sky. Little tiny twist here. And then exhale, we'll bring that elbow over to touch the right arm. And then inhale up and exhale down. moving with our breath. Let's do one more. And exhale. Touch the elbow. And then we'll come back to the center and release that hand down to our mats. Good. Breathe into that back. Make sure that it's supported as we lift the right hand to touch the back of the head. And then same thing on this side. Inhale, we'll lift up. And exhale, back down. Do a couple more. Inhaling up one last time. Exhaling down to touch with your elbow. And then back to the center. We'll release that right hand. Good. Keeping our hands out in front of us. Hips are by our heels right now. Let's inhale up to our tabletop. Think about making this nice and long. No dips or humps. And then exhale, just hinging back to our heels. And then inhaling up. Exhaling back. Getting used to the activity in that core as we move. Just doing this and being mindful of these muscles here in the back and in the sides and in our abs will strengthen all around in that low back, which will keep it from being in pain. We'll have some support. Good. And now let's exhale. Heels or hips come back to the heels. We'll walk those hands out nice and long. Find our child's pose. Good. Let's inhale up to our little plank now. And we'll just move through our half series. Exhale. Elbows will go back. Chests will lower down. All the way down to our bellies. And then inhale, scooping our way up into a little cobra. And then press into those hands back to our child's pose. And then inhale up, little plank. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale, little cobra. And exhale back to our child's pose. Moving with our breath. Pressing back. Let's do one more. Inhale will come up. Exhale will lower down. Inhale to our little back bend. And then press back, child's pose. You can even use our hands here to push just a little bit more into those hips. Hips go back further into the heels. And then from here, keeping those hips over the heels, we'll walk our hands over to one side, reaching across our body with the opposite hand. And back to the center. And then exhale, we'll walk those hands over to the other side. And back to the center. And press into those fingers, nice and strong. As we come up to our little plank, we're going to bring this right leg forward, and we'll find ourselves into lizard pose. So our right foot is on the outside of our right hand. Left leg is soft behind us. Back is straight, chest are proud, gazing forward. We all want to look, and I'm guilty of this too, wanting to look down at our hands, but that curls our spine. Let's lengthen and look forward to the future. Good. We'll keep that left hand on the floor, lift up the right, sink the hips, open up the chest, reach with our fingers on the right hand, press into that left hand. And back down. Good. Let's step back. Child's pose. And as we inhale, we'll bring our shoulders forward. Left foot will come up into our lizard. Wiggle our way into this little lunge. Finding our alignment, making sure our knee is at least over the ankle. Can be a little bit forward. We don't want to go too far past our toes with that knee. And then the right leg is soft. Hips are coming forward and down. Shoulders are strong. Now let's lift up that left hand for the little twist. And exhale, we'll come back down. We'll step back, find our child's pose. And then let's inhale up to our little plank. Exhale, lower down. And then inhale. We can scoop up to a little cobra, or we can come up to upward facing dog. And now we'll press back, child's pose. Take one breath here. And we'll tuck the toes underneath of our butts, open up in the backs of our ankles and in the arches of our feet. Pressing into those fingers, active all around in that torso. Let's lift up the hips, lengthen in the spine, downward facing dog. Pedal the legs a couple of times if we need. Wag the tail. Find our way into our down dog of the day. Good. Let's bend those knees. Press into the hands. Pull the shoulders away from the wrists. Bring the tummy toward the thighs. And we'll lift up the right leg. Good. Let's step forward, up in between our hands for a lunge. Good. And from here, again, right hand comes up. And back down. Good. Finding that balance. Let's lift both hands up, high lunge. And lowering back down. Good. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Lifting up the left leg. Stretching it back behind us. And then we'll step forward in between our hands. And then lifting the left hand. And back down. And inhale, hands come up high. And exhaling back down. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Right leg comes up. We'll step forward in between our hands. Lift up the right hand. And exhale it back down. And then inhale, high lunge. Let's do another little twist. Take that right arm back behind us. Left arm comes forward. Sink down into that lunge. Keep that back leg long. And inhale back up. Good. Hands come back down. Let's step back, downward facing dog. Left leg comes up. And stepping forward. Inhale, let's lift that left hand up high. And back down. Find that balance. Inhale, high lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, let's twist to the left. Inhaling back up high. Good. And hands come back down. Step back, downward facing dog. Let's pedal it out just a little bit. Good. And then inhale, let's come forward to our plank. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And we'll tuck those toes, press back, downward facing dog. Good. Let's lift up that right leg. We'll step forward into our lunge. Inhale, right hand up. And exhale down. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, twist to the right. Good. Inhaling up. Good. And now exhale, let's open up warrior two, dropping that left heel, reaching in opposite directions with those fingers. Good. Inhale, extended reverse warrior. Good. Exhale, let's shift those hips back behind us and work our way into triangle. Good. Both hands come down to the mat, bending that right knee. Let's step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot will come up. And we'll step forward, continuing to build onto our flow. Inhale, left hand up. Exhaling down. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, twisting to the left. Good. Back up to the top. And now opening, warrior two. Dropping that right heel, bending the left knee nice and deep. Opening the hips to the right. And then gazing just past this left middle finger. Inhale, extended reverse warrior. And then exhale, shifting the hips back, reaching forward. And then lowering the arm for triangle pose. Good. Bending that left knee, both hands can find our mats into our lunge, and then stepping back, downward facing dog. Right leg comes up. Stepping forward. Inhale, right hand comes up. And back down. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, we'll twist. Good. Inhale up. And then exhale, open up warrior two. Hips turn to the left. Shoulders open wide. Inhale, extended reverse warrior. And then exhale, triangle pose. Good. And inhale, let's come all the way up, extended reverse warrior. And then exhale, we'll bend that right knee again, come back to a high lunge. Exhale, hands come back down, right in front of those toes. Inhale, lift up the left leg for 3-point balance. Good. Exhale, let's bring that leg back down. Step back, downward facing dog. Lifting up our left leg. And stepping through. Left hand comes up. Hand back down. Inhaling high. And then exhale, little twist. Back up to the top. And then open up warrior two. Inhale, extended reverse warrior. And then triangle pose. Inhaling, extended reverse warrior. And then we'll turn, find our high lunge again, ever so gracefully. Hands come down right in front of those toes, shifting the weight forward. We'll lift up our right leg, 3-point balance. Good. Exhale, lowering back down to our lunge. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. And then inhale. Let's come forward into our plank. Exhale. We'll lower down. Inhale to our choice of back bend. We'll tuck those toes. Lift the hips for our downward facing dog. Build just a little bit further. Right leg comes up. And we'll step through. Inhale, right hand. Exhale, down. Inhale, high lunge. And then exhale, we'll twist. Good. Inhaling up. Exhale. Warrior two. Inhale, extended reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, hands come up, back to our high lunge. Hands go down. Inhale, 3-point balance. Good. From here, let's inhale. We'll bring the knee in toward our chest. I'm going to hop so you can see what we're doing. Hands will come to our hearts. We'll cross that left foot over the right knee and sit down into our chair. And inhale, we'll come back up. Whoop. We'll step all the way back. Hands can come down to the floor, back to our lunge, and then back to downward facing dog. We'll move over to the left side. Left leg comes up, stepping forward, inhaling, little twist, and exhaling down. Inhaling high, and exhaling, collar twist. Inhaling, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Triangle pose. Inhale, back to our high lunge. Exhale, hands come back down. Inhale, 3-point balance. Good, we'll bring that knee in. All the way forward. Hands come to our hearts. Cross the right foot over the left knee. And exhale, sitting down into our chair here. Slowly we'll come up. We'll step back, hands find the floor. Full lunge, and then step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward. Exhale, we'll come down. Inhale, upward facing dog. We'll tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Good, let's inhale forward into our plank again. And just for fun, we're gonna bring all of our weight onto our right hand. and work into our side plank. We can stack our feet. We can do a little stagger with them. We can even lower that bottom right knee if we need. We're lifting the hips away from the earth, opening the shoulders. Good, and slowly we'll come back down, press back, downward facing dog. And let's walk those hands back towards our hands for a forward fold. Good. Inhale to a flat back, long legs. Exhale, let's see if we can fold a little bit deeper. And then we'll walk those hands back out for our downward facing dog again. Inhale forward to our plank. Strong, strong plank here. We'll shift all of the weight over to this left hand and open up for side plank on this side. And then slowly and gracefully, we'll come back to our plank. Press back, downward facing dog. And let's walk those hands backwards to our forward fold here. Inhale to a flat back, long legs. Exhale, we'll fold. And then from here, let's deeply bend those knees. We'll slowly roll our way up. Hands can come to our hearts. And we'll open up those feet just a little bit wider than our hips. Toes are going to point to the corners of our mat. And we'll sit down into a malasana squat. Butts come down low. Backs are straight. Elbows can come to the inside of the legs to help open those hips up if we would like. And now tuck the chin just a little bit so we can open up in that neck. You can even try and touch our chin with our thumbs, forehead with the pointer fingers of our hands. And that can kind of give us an idea of a decent alignment of our neck. And it looks very contemplative. And then we can lower those hands down to our mats. We can even creepy crawl them forward, lower the knees down. Swish the feet over to one side. We'll find ourselves on our bottoms, bringing the legs forward. Good. And now we'll extend our left leg. Our right knee is bent. And we can cross that right leg over the left thigh. We'll hug it with our left arm. Feel the length in our body as we're pressing in with both of our sitting bones. We don't want to be lifting up. If we can do our best to will that hip down to the mat and then Lengthen on that inhale. Exhale, we'll begin to twist to the left or to the right. Our right hand comes back behind us. We use that breath to create space in between all of our vertebrae. And then exhale, we relax, and we can twist a little bit deeper. And then we'll come back around. We'll keep this leg crossed over the left, but open up that right knee. And then we'll bend the left knee and bring that foot closer to us for a bit of a figure 4 stretch here. Think about moving this right knee away from our body. Keep lengthening in the back. Good. And then we'll slowly unwind, release those legs, and we'll move over to the other side. So lengthening that right knee. Left foot comes over the top of that right leg, hugging the knee in towards our body. Using that right hand and our breath. And we exhale, begin to twist to the left. And then we'll slowly unwind. We'll open up this left knee, keeping it crossed, the ankle crossed over the right. And then we can slowly bend that right knee, placing the foot onto our mats. And then we'll slowly release and unwind. We'll let those feet find the floor. We'll bring the knees into our chest and rock back onto our backs. Give ourselves that little bit of a massage or a wiggle. And then hugging those knees into the chest, we'll open them wide. Elbows come in between, and we'll hold the pinky toe side of our feet, pulling those knees in toward the ground, relaxing the head and the shoulder. Bottoms of the feet are pressing up to the sky. as the hands are helping them come back down. So there's that little dynamic tension between the two, but it's all in good fun. So breathing deeply, we should feel that tummy pressing into our thighs. Our tailbone is working down towards our mat. And we'll release those feet, bringing the knees together and back into our chest. We'll tuck our chin and bring our forehead in towards our knees. Take one more deep inhale here. And then exhale, we'll release our entire body to the earth for Shavasana. We close our eyes. We let our jaw soften. Our body become heavy as it is being supported by the earth. We begin to deepen our breath. Bring gentle movement into our fingers and our toes. We become aware of our bodies again. And when it is time, bring our knees into our chest. And we'll roll over onto our side and help ourselves up to seated. Take a moment to check in with how we are feeling after our practice and after our Shavasana. And we'll inhale, lifting our hands up to the sky, bringing them together at the top, and exhaling them down to our hearts with a purpose. I thank you so much for joining me today, for allowing me to help you through your practice. I hope that you will feel even just a little bit better than when we started. And I wish you all a very, very happy day, an open heart, and an open mind. The light in me honors the light in you. And when we are together, whether physically or virtually, we are one. Namaste.